Oh man, I completely ran a blank right there.
That's a good start.
Okay, hold on.
You are now listening to Goblin Bomb Radio.
Alright, and welcome back. It's episode 4 of Goblin Bomb Radio with me, Pharaoh, and my two goons, Oto and Tank.
What's good, everyone?
What's up, guys?
Well, if they could answer you directly, they'd probably say nothing's good.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing's up, including the servers.
Pretty much, yeah. We've been going through pretty much problem after problem this entire weekend with early access.
It makes you wonder if the game was ever even completed.
Well, it is. I mean, it's ultimately the whole problem is the infrastructure, the servers themselves. They just can't. They can't keep up with the traffic, and it's it's like
basically what you're trying to say is duty finder.
I'm trying to say anything instance related seems to be breaking everything. Like once the instance creation server thing, whatever the hell it is, once that starts getting overwhelmed, people start getting kicked. People you can't get back on. Then they put login restrictions in place, and wow, this has been a fun weekend.
Yeah, that includes everything, actually. Class quests, teleporting, storyline, dungeons, yeah, everything.
Yeah, and when you get right down to it, I think ultimately that's the problem. I think there's too much related to the instances. Like, there's just too many things that are automatic instance, like quests and dungeons and shit like that. Like, if there wasn't so much, then you wouldn't have pretty much damn near every player trying to get into an instance, and you wouldn't have the instances getting overwhelmed that way.
I think the most frustrating part for me is that the game's still up and there are some people on, but they're restricting how many people can get on at this point. And once you do get on, you start playing for a while, and just as you start to really get into it, you really get into the story and everything, boom, you're done. 90K.
Well, fun fact, I'm actually one of the people that is logged on, and I'm actually logged on at this moment.
You better stay in there. The moment you log off, somebody else is going to take your spot.
Oh, I don't plan on logging off. I simply went to my in-room to do the show, which I'm sure people are probably freaking out about, right? They're probably like, you're taking up a spot because it's telling me the servers are full.
What a douchebag.
Well, you guys need to calm down a minute. And if you follow us on Twitter, I posted a picture there. It's an in-game screenshot of Olda in the street, well, in that main section right near the like Adventures Guild and the Crystal and everything. So follow us at Goblin Bomb and look at the picture, and you will see that the worlds are not full. They're not even close to being full.
I bet that the majority of the people are stuck in the instance, like in the black screen, and they're not even like forcing themselves to log off to see if it gets fixed by itself.
I don't know, but it is empty right now. It is like dead, completely dead. So when the little thing pops up on your screen telling you that the worlds are full, it's pretty safe to say that that's total BS.
Yeah, it stinks. I've been trying nonstop, still trying as we're speaking.
I gave up hope. I'm just gonna wait till later.
Well, I mean, the main issue here is you got 1 day left until official launch. Now, I'm gonna say, and I don't care how many people get pissed off about me saying this. I don't, because at this point, if you get pissed off about what I'm about to say, then you literally are just a white knight for the game and you're a fanboy. But at this point, with the 1 day left in early access, if these problems are still this bad on official launch day, Square Enix is going to have real problems.
I completely agree with that. They're going to have major issues, and I mean, we know we discussed this a little bit earlier pre-show. You had said you were looking through the forums and everything, and there's a lot of people that are pissed. A lot of people saying they're done. They came back to try it out thinking it was fixed. It's supposed to work, and nope.
Pretty sad though when you think about it, because they had 4 phases of beta testing to actually fix all the issues and problems. They waited till beta phase 4 to open it up for a whole bunch of people, which it was completely ass because everything crashed. And now in early access, it's still crashing. That's pretty sad.
Well, it goes back to I think what we were. I think we were all in agreement that phase 4 being 3 days was ridiculous. Why wouldn't that have been a week long? I mean, I'm sure if it was a week long, they would have caught some of this.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like one of those you're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. I mean, yeah, sure, they may have caught some of it, but they may have not. And it could still be a problem now. I mean, we don't know, so it's kind of all speculation at this point. But I do think that 3 days for an open beta is a bit on the short side, considering I've been a part of many open betas, and a lot of them are a whole lot longer than 3 days. A whole lot longer. I've seen open betas that last a month.
Yeah, it's essentially everybody. The game itself is a fun game to play. It's an awesome game. The ideas that they have are good. But this whole instance thing is, yeah, I don't know what to say other than it's screwing up the works.
Now, is this also affecting the Japanese servers or no?
As far as we can tell, no. I mean, every time that I haven't been able to log on to my character, I can still get on my legacy character, which is on a JP server.
See, that makes no sense then. Why can't they just like duplicate their own server and then transfer all the schematics to the NA one? You know,
it's volume.
Just duplicate it.
The volume's different. There's more of us for NAEU than there is for the JP.
See, that's another thing then. Wouldn't it have hinted, knowing that NA and EU are going to be a bigger population, work on our servers more than the JP one?
I think the real problem is honestly the NA EU server database things, or whatever the hell they call them. That's all new. I think that's the actual problem. It's like breaking in a new fucking baseball glove. You know what I mean? It never. At least that's my thought. I think their problem is that they're new and they don't know what to fucking do yet.
That is true though, because in 1.0 we were all in JP servers.
Yeah, they had plenty of time to fix that, whatever the issues were there. I wasn't in at the very beginning of 1.0, but I heard some stories, and the way it's looking via shout when we're actually in the game, rarely, they're comparing it to that, so...
I mean, like I said, ultimately, I think they're going to get it fixed. I think they will work it out. It's a matter of when, and that's the problem. Is, like I said, if these problems are still there and they're still this like persistent in their frequency, then at launch that's going to be a major problem, dude. Like, that's going to drive a lot of people away, which might be a good thing because it'll release the stress on the damn thing, but. It's you know, it kind of sucks that you want the game to succeed and you see like this kind of stuff happening.
Well, let me ask you this then: what do you think about launch? Do you think that if it is this way tomorrow, that they make emergency announcements saying that they're pushing it back?
I don't think they can.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah, I think they're locked into the 27th at this point.
So it's too late. So they would essentially, if it is broke, to save their ass, the only thing I could think would be let everybody pick up the game, but not let them play it. Shut down the servers altogether.
Either that or give them an extra 30-day month or so of free play.
It's so hard to say because, I mean, like, yeah, okay, because, well, first of all, the games have already shipped. The copies of the games have already shipped from Japan. So there's nothing you can really do as far as stopping that. So the sale of the game still probably has to undoubtedly take place on the 27th. The problem is though it's like if you equate this to something else, like if I gave you, or if I sold you a cheeseburger and I told you can't eat it until tomorrow, you'd be pretty pissed off because you paid money for this and you want to play it now. You know what I mean? You want to eat that burger now.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I mean, imagine that, pulling up to the McDonald's drive-thru and the chick comes, she hands you your cheeseburger, and she's like, yeah, you can't eat it till tomorrow.
Well, I got a microwave.
Yeah, but the point is, dude, you'd be like, really? I just bought this. What do we mean I can't eat it?
What I see happening is they either have to do some overtime and get some work done, basically, and fix it up before release, or not. They're, like you said, they're going to have a lot of pissed off people.
Well, they already got a lot of pissed off people, but when it comes time that people like legitimately put money on it, and I know there are some out there now that have, because some people got it through the Square Enix website, and their credit cards apparently have already been charged. So I know there are people that have already paid money, and the people that pre-ordered, I mean, a lot of those, I think it's safe to say the majority of those people put $5 down, and it's not like you can't cancel a pre-order or change your $5 over to something else. You know what I mean? So, but once it gets to the point where it's like, here, cash goes into the retailer's hand and that product goes into the consumer's hand, that's a whole nother ballgame. That's where you have every right to be extremely pissed if it's not up to snuff.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I have to say, for those people that did put the $5 down on the game to pre-order it, just hang in there. You know, we're going to keep you posted on it. We're not giving up on the game. We're going to continue to play it and keep you guys posted on what's going on. Just don't give up on the game yet, because it is a good game. You will enjoy it. They will fix it eventually, and we'll be letting you know as soon as we know.
Well, absolutely, dude. I'm not quitting because of this. I'm not gonna throw my fist up in rage. I mean, granted, I'm a legacy character, so I don't have to buy it again. But like, I'm still gonna sub because I know they're gonna get it worked out. It's just a matter of time. The problem is the time, and you know that's the thing that sucks. The other part of it is that, like I said earlier, it's the main issue. I think is that there's too much reliant on the instances. Like the instance creation server, or whatever you want to call it. I guess for the sake of this conversation, we can just call it the duty finder, even though, you know, whatever. But that I think is the problem. There's just too much that filters through that same thing. And when you have this amount of people all doing it, you know, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, it's just a little weird because, you know, let me go back to 1.0 real quick. When we went into the dungeon, that was still an instance back then, correct?
But it wasn't like obligated to go through a certain type of service. It was basically we all partied up ourselves and we go to the cave and go from there. It wasn't driven by a program or anything else.
Right. Whereas in this particular one, what you're doing is you can create a party of 4 to go through your dungeon, but you still have to use the duty finder to go in it. Yep. You keep your party. It's not searching for anybody else. It's just taking your party, but you still have to utilize that instance dungeon, the duty finder.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that is probably honestly my biggest beef with the entire game. Is that if I fill a party, I feel like I should just be able to walk into the instance or the dungeon or whatever the case may be, instead of. I don't feel the need to, like, oh, you have to go through the duty finder process and make sure everybody's queued in, and then that way, you know, we'll kick you right into it. I mean, yeah, okay, granted, at least it's fast, but I'd rather just be able to go to the entrance and go right in instead of having to do the duty finder thing. Like, it just seems like an unnecessary step.
Now, one thing
I was just going to say that, unnecessary.
One thing I don't understand about the dungeon and situation here still is they have entrances. They even have a little icon to show you where the dungeon is located, but yet you still have to use the duty finder. And let's say if half of the party's not there, you still can go in there just by going to the duty finder.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's pretty just whack, I think.
It's a strange kind of thing. It's, well, like I just said, it's just an unnecessary step. Like, if I can go to the gate, why can't I go through the gate?
Just take the adventure, get on your chocobo, and ride there. It's fun.
Well, I know they're going to get it fixed. I'm confident in that. I'm not leaving the game. I don't think any one of the three of us are. And the game is fun. Like Tank said, it's a freaking awesome game when you're in it and it's working. It's, as far as like once you're in the game, it's smooth. Like everything is ridiculously nice and it's smooth. There's no like lag hiccup type shit that you have to deal with like most other games.
Yeah, like I said, said this 3 times, I think, just in this show. Once it's fixed, I think this game's going to be great. We just got to get past this little bump in the road, I guess. Well, okay, it's a giant pothole, but we'll get through it.
Well, I think we're going to keep this one on a short show. So I guess we'll wrap it up for now. But we just kind of wanted to give you guys our opinion, our little update on the whole server thing. Again, check us out at Goblin Bomb on Twitter, especially if you want to see that picture that I posted when they're telling you that the world is full. Other than that, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, leave some comments on YouTube or apexgamer.net or on Twitter or Facebook, whatever. Any final thoughts, though, guys?
I was actually just thinking, I guess I should have asked you this before the show, but what do you think about if they do get this fixed by tomorrow, maybe having another show at launch, kind of the same length as this one, letting everybody know what's going on?
It's certainly a good possibility. I mean, if everything is working well, maybe we'll kick out another short show and just get you guys updated and that kind of thing. That's a good idea.
Yep, and everybody can comment how good of a guy I am if you want.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, you know what? I do have a question though that I'd like to pose. I'm curious if any of the NAEU players haven't had any problems. So if you're one of those people, if they even exist, which I don't,
lucky ones.
I don't think that I think everybody, I think every single player has been affected by it one way or another, whether you're EU or NA. As far as Japanese servers, people, you're excluded from this question. But if you are one of those people that you've been pretty much flawless, you've escaped this death grip on early access, leave us comments, let us know, because I want to see if there's actually anybody out there.
There's not going to be, because they're affected one way or the other because of them doing the maintenance.
Yeah, and then, I mean, as a follow-up, if you have been affected, tell us what you think. Tell us your thoughts. Are you pissed off about it? Are you mad? Or do you want a refund? Like, how extreme is it for you personally? Let us know that stuff. But other than that, you have anything, Oto, you want to add at the end here?
I just want to repeat what you guys said. Basically, the whole don't give up on it. It really is a good game. Look at 1.0. It started off bad, but at the end of it, it was really great. We all enjoyed it and we actually all had fun. So just don't give up on it.
Hell yeah. And on that note, I think we are going to wrap it. So for Oto and Tank, I'm Pharaoh. This is Goblin Bomb Radio, and maybe we'll see you on launch day sometime for a shorter show, possibly. If not, next weekend, definite. So stay classy. Peace.